Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Market Insights with Linux. We're going to do a full update right here on Tesla. I wanted to do a full update. I wanted to do a full update yesterday. Unfortunately, wasn't able to do a full update yesterday. Some things came in between, which was unfortunate because yesterday I bought Tesla, and just in general, I wanted to make a relatively positive video on Tesla, which obviously after the shenanigans between Musk and Trump last week pulled back a fair bit. But we did speak about this level before, right? I think about maybe last week or the week before when Tesla broke above this key resistance level here around $300. With volume, we always said, all right, well, if we actually get a pullback into that level, that seems like a great buy. And then last week, Thursday, Friday, or Thursday evening, we of course got that feud between Musk and Trump. But on my main channel, I already made an update back then that it was most likely an overreaction, and that most likely they were going to make up. And as you can see right now, with some retweets, I think yesterday by Elon Musk and some other positive news about their relationship, they made up in general, and Tesla bounced also from a technical major support level. Right, because technically it was already quite likely that after the breakout we had right here above 290 and 300, with the gaps to the downside and some other imbalances, that we were going to revisit that level. Now we've dropped down into that. We filled all the gaps, we filled all the imbalances, and now the only imbalances left are a small one here to the downside with a new open. We opened higher, as you can see. And then to the upside, we have a fair value gap at 340, and then we have a gap and a fair value gap and the 7-day rolling VWAP around 325. So yeah, that's all good right now. Technically, we got that bounce from a strong support level. So now the big question is what's next, all right? And first of all, and I've repeated this on my main channel a couple of times already. But the market at this point of time, the general financial markets, are still very much a fundamentals market, right? So I don't necessarily think that the current trade talks between the US and China are specifically important for Tesla. But obviously the relationship between the US and China has been in the last couple of months specifically important for Tesla. Who does quite a lot of business and gets quite a lot of parts from China, for example. So that is one thing you need to keep in mind, and something you need to track as well in terms of the news. And then we also have other geopolitical tensions in the world that can make the markets move, right? For example, also the US-EU trade deal, for which we need to hear some news in June as well. But for now, if we just go off of the technicals and assuming that the fundamental situation around at least Musk and Trump will remain relatively stable, which I do, we're actually pretty, we have quite a lot of upside potential, because the main support level we have is also on the higher time frames. This level right here, between, if you extend it all the way, between 310 and 280. We've now held that on the higher time frames, and in general, I see no reason fundamentally nor technically that we would drop down below that level. So we have a very strong support level just below us. Can we still test the 30-day rolling VWAP, the 200 EMA around $300? Certainly, but I think it's most likely that Tesla has now secured its balance here at the top, right? So some sort of consolidation. And if we assume that, and if we go back in time to the last time we had consolidation or we had balance here in this level, the main resistance is right here between, maybe if you drag it all the way down to 360, but most likely or most often between 370 and 400. That's the main resistance we have. We reached that once, as you can see right here, the 29th of May, and I think slowly but surely we are going to trend up to that again. First of all, look, do I think we can go all the way up to 400? That seems unlikely with the fundamental situation, but technically I do think potentially after a pullback we're heading now for that level at 350, 360, and then for now, for the time being, I expect some sort of consolidation here, and then from that consolidation eventually I think we're going up to 400. Where we have a test to break out above that, even though at this point of time that is not what I would expect. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on Tesla right now. I'm trying to put out a Tesla video every single week, so if you're interested in that, consider subscribing. But for now, that's it. So thank you for watching, take care, and bye.